All right, we live there.
Exactly why it is and how it is. Right now, they've galvanized everything to protect everyone except us. It is not accidental. It's all just a part of the plan. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent Black thought. We are the Black Media. And this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically Black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us.
That's right, Dave.
And join us you shall, because on tonight's program, I could talk about a lot of things here. I could talk about a number of different things. Who the police have been out here killing, who they've been going after and whatnot, white supremacists taking an L. I wanted to take this as an opportunity, though, to remind you all that right now we're in the middle of what can only be described as a sick joke. And the sick joke on the part of the white supremacists is to say, Black folks are always starving for hate crimes legislation. Well, we're going to enforce hate crimes, wink, wink, only against you. And no better example of this than when you take a look at the Ahmaud Arbery case in Georgia. A year later, which really just illustrates how phony any attempt to talk about Asian hate crimes or hate crimes against Asians is. That it's been a year since Ahmaud Arbery was murdered in cold blood on video. No action was taken then. They didn't do anything. Nothing was done at the state level, by the way. At the state level, they didn't do anything. Nothing at all. However, for Asians, they immediately jumped into action. Why? Because it doesn't matter whether you're talking about the so-called left wing of white supremacy or the right wing of white supremacy. They are both twin wings on the bird of white supremacy. So Black people are not to be given any type of protection. And a year later, the feds have stepped in with something that should have happened a year ago at the state level and didn't. Should have happened a year ago at the federal level and didn't. And they're only now throwing a bone out there to say, oh, well, we'll go ahead and do one. Black folk are getting arrested left and right for simply saying things that are verbally offensive to Asians. Allegedly, Black folk been getting arrested left and right. No one is rounding up white folk for verbally harassing Black people. And yet here you are a year later, long preceding any supposed verbal altercations on Asians, long preceding any of that. This was way before all of that. And take a look at what had to happen here. Nobody sprang to life. No one sprang into action. Nobody jumped on it. None of this. And this is just one among many. One among many. Now, how in the hell do you explain this? Well, of course you explain it. I'm white and I say so. That is the true law of the land. That is the law that you are living under. I'm white and I say so. You have no rights. And if we do talk about Black people, then we're only going to talk about the laws that target you. Even the ones that are supposed to sit up here and protect you, we are going to target you with them. And everybody else, we are going to help them to target you. And that's where we are right now. That's where we are today. Don't tell me a damn thing about getting out there and stomping for any damn body else. There's nobody to stomp for. There's nobody to go for. There's nobody to stomp for out here. We have to do that for ourselves. Nobody is trying to protect us. No one. We don't have any protection. Just us. That's it. When you sit up here and it takes a year later for something like this to happen, they're letting you know that they're on the side of your killers. Here's what they're letting you know. We're with them. We're here to protect them. We're here to stand up for them. Now they don't see these things. It's not that they don't see it. They think they see an opening for genocide. Is what they see. They think they see an opening for that. I'm going to be getting into a lot of things here tonight, so I want you to go ahead and hold on to that. A lot of things that are going to be encapsulated into a small, convenient area, just to show you just how damn far gone things are here. Just to let you see how much of a joke it isn't. That's what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to go ahead, as a matter of fact, because I have a string of things I want us to take a look at here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break here. And when we come back, hang on to your hats. We've got a lot we're going to cover in just one area here. Before we do, I want to thank everyone who contributed and participated as part of New Black Media Appreciation Month in April. The white supremacists were taking L's left and right. I want to send a great big thanks, especially to Ms. Gladys. Thank you very much as well. Eve, thank you very much. And a big thanks to Ms. T. Montgomery. I want to thank you very much for showing your appreciation and your very generous support. And I hope to be able to return that in kind by continuing to dispense the analysis and insight that you are receiving absolutely nowhere else. We are the Black media. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program, either on Cash App or PayPal. Thank you very much for that. Brother Maurice, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that as well. And everyone who has supported tonight's program. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we are going to get further into this. It's not a joke. It's not a game. They are protecting everyone except us. This is the Black Channel.
One more later, okay? Why are you playing the boring ass game there? Play other games when that's boring. But I don't want to play no other games.
Aliens descend upon the city and discover milk. They notice people. They exploit the people.
You and all the white people attack my village and tore up all my shit. That's all right. I did. It says who attacked you, Juanita. Oh, okay. Your name was on the list like 2 times. Why you burning my house? And then you kick the head off my snowman and shit. I go to my village and all y'all just fuck my shit up. Okay? I'm gonna wait. That's what you tell y'all like to do things while I'm asleep. Okay. Just knew I had a nice ass village. Went to sleep, came to the village this morning and shit. Kicked the head off my snowman. I got holes in my roof. Y'all done took my chariot. I ain't got no place to even ride to.
Products with the online training. The online training is very effective. It's being able to work out when you're ready, your time. So it'll download to your app. You can find workouts per week tailored for you based on your life type, your lifestyle, your experience, and also the equipment that you have. You're going to have the best bands, solid fitness square bands, you have ankle bands. There's booty bands and power bands. It's going to strengthen, stretch, and change your life. Get your man's, he's a man, StyleFitnessWorld.com. He's the best. She said she had a big fee. She had a price to pay off. That was around $200. He said, okay, I'll help you over there. So he intentionally tried to put in $30, but he fat fingered the hell out of this and put in $3,000 and sent the money off to her by mistake. And when he finally realized what happened, of course he was messaging her and calling her, or fine. And after about 500 calls later and 10,000 texts later, well, he just realized she was long gone.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Glad to have you all here this evening. Want to send a special thanks here. Thank you to Damien and Miss Cordelia. Thank you very much for supporting tonight's program, as well as everyone who had contributed on Cash App or PayPal. Thank you very much for your support here tonight. I can start off with a lot of things, but I'm really only going to go into one because I think that this really encapsulates the problem very well. You can actually go find this on Facebook for yourselves. The Congressional Black Caucus, although they shouldn't be called that, they shouldn't be called the Congressional Black Caucus because they don't do anything for black people. But if you want to go to their Facebook page, I want to show you all something. Because all it took was one congressperson, Maxine Waters, to sit up here and say that we need to agitate more and then not to immediately apologize. The next thing you know, folks got shook and things got done. If you go to the Congressional Black Caucus's Facebook page here, I want you all to take a look at something. Because if you want to see why these black people have been able to get so little done, take a look at this. When you go to their page, it's like showing up at some damn senior citizen center. And there they are. You can take a look at 7 hours ago, and you're going to see a very, very prominent ad form very, very quickly. See this? Go ahead and take a look at that. We've officially kicked off CDC Vaccination Week. Vaccination Week. Congressional Black Caucus Chair Joyce Betty hosts a site at the Columbus Urban League or New Salem Baptist Church today and tomorrow. Today, GOTV. Wow, that seems a little ominous. Seems a lot like GOVT. Government, all right. Get out the vaccine. Not get out the vote. Get out the vaccine. Yeah, if all of this seems a bit ominous to you, yeah, you're right. If it seems a bit ominous. But let me show you how bad it gets. Now, this was just the one here put up today without vaccine. And they keep going here. Three hours ago, I was thrilled to kick off the CDC Vaccination Week by visiting the Victory Missionary Baptist Church vaccine site. So this is what we're doing. Now your churches are in on it. We've long known the churches have been collaborating with the dominant society against us. Now they're just officially coming out with it. No wonder young people don't deal with the church no more. 4 hours ago, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. Oh, y'all thought she was worried about reparations. No, she's taking care of important things, like making sure all of you get your vaccinations. That's 3 posts so far. Paul Wall, the people's champ. Can you show me any other group of people in America, any other ethnic group, where they sit up here and send out entertainers for the purposes of speaking to those people? Can you show me where that happens? Can you show me where the Asians got Jackie Chan jumping up talking on their behalf? That's what these folks want to talk to. I don't know. Maybe you can go ahead and show that to me. Maybe you can. And Paul Wall, of all damn people, that shows you what they got going on. That shows the Congressional Black Caucus called Paul Wall. The Congressional Black Caucus called Paul Wall. Are you serious? I know Paul got to feel some kind of way. The audience is hyped, Paul. The audience is hyped.
They brought a white boy out.
Not even some Instagram thoughts. Grandma's gone wild out here. Damn, your career fell off. Oh, what do you know? What do you see here? What do you see here? That doesn't look like a black doctor. By the way, I couldn't help but notice that didn't look like a black doctor. Bunch of old black folk at the church. Bunch of old black folk at the church. It's a non-black person, so of course they're going to quietly submit. Now you make you and me run up. Nigga, what you doing? I need to find out what it is right there. I don't know what you do right there. These other folk could be sitting up here giving your ass anthrax in your arm. They're not asking any questions. Once again, this is the Congressional Black Caucus's Facebook page. I'm going in chronological order backwards here so you can see what they've been flooding their Facebook with all day today. Don't wait. Vaccinate. This is our shot. First of all, that the grammar on that sentence and punctuation is not what it should be, but got together with Walgreens. I'm trying to see. Apparently, they don't care about the health and well-being of Asians, whites, Latinos. Oh, it's only black folk that they are just psychopathically fixated on. Quite frankly, this feels a little disturbing. Thank you, Walgreens, for helping get out the vaccine. Don't wait, vaccinate, vax up. Wow. There's Sheila Jackson Lee, everybody's favorite immigrant grandmama. Says she does not waste any time. SheOTV, get out the vaccine. Wow. There your young medical professionals are. You are here to grab the nearest black person and make sure that they get vaccines. You thought they were done? Oh, hell no. They've been carpet bombing it today. Have you all kept track of just how many posts have gone up so far? Have you kept track of this here, folks? I mean, this basically, the Congressional Black Caucus is no longer concerned about black people, or at least they think the only issue facing black people is, have you been vaccinated? Police brutality? No. Economic oppression? Ain't worried about that. Systemic racism? Nah, the only systemic racism is if you don't get vaccinated. They're worried about everything except the issues black folk need to be worried about right here. And understand, I can keep going. We can keep going for a while. Have you counted how many posts I've been through? And this is just today. This is just today. Columbus Urban League. Take a look at this sad sight. Get out the vaccine. Get out the vaccine weekend is officially underway. Stop by the Columbus Urban League or New Salem Baptist Church today and tomorrow to vax up. No appointment needed. So if you got cancer, you can't get no help. But for this scene, all of a sudden, they've got unlimited resources. Isn't that amazing? So for anything else, we can't get any help. But for this vaccine, all of a sudden, why, they've got unlimited resources. Wow, that's just damn me amazing, isn't it? Yeah, they've just got unlimited resources now. And the Congressional Black Caucus has unlimited interest but only in vaccines. They have unlimited interest, but only in vaccines. Amazing. This is your Congressional Black Caucus now. Ohio's 3rd Congressional District, Vaccination Week. People, have they ever talked about Black people this much? This is your Congressional Black Caucus. Have we got Black folk getting shot dead out here. Have you ever seen the Congressional Black Caucus talk about Black people this much? Ever? Ever? Can anyone show me where they have ever talked about Black people this much? Folks, this is just in the last 24 hours. Don't wait, vaccinate. I'm just going backwards on their timeline. If you've been following the Congressional Black Caucus's timeline for the last few days, this is all you see. This is it. Ain't worried about no Derek Chauvin. Ain't worried about any systemic racism. This is it. This is it. Gospel soul singers, rappers. This is what they want to. This is their idea of communicating to Black folk. Shout out to Nikki Ivory. Shout out to Nikki Ivory. She's on my friends list. So she went there to go represent at least. You can take a look at what they got here for that. A bunch of folks they thumbs up with a few folks with some sense. Congressional Black Caucus again. Vaccination Week. On Good Morning America, Vaccination Week. This is the Congressional Black Caucus. We don't need protection from systemic racism. We don't need any economic support. We need vaccines. That's what Black folk need. This is your Congressional Black Caucus. They have literally ignored every single other issue out there. The only thing that matters is getting vaccinated. If it's so damn important, why aren't the other caucuses in Congress worried about white folk and Asians, Latinos and Arabs and Native Americans? Well, all they worry about is Black folk. They don't worry. All the things we said we want, they have ignored. Now, you need to put these vaccines in your arms. Now, you need to do that. Folks, do you realize how many posts I've gone through? I haven't skipped any. I have just gone one by one through every post that the Congressional Black Caucus has put up on their Facebook page. I've just gone backwards one by one by one. I'm showing each one to you individually. Don't wait, vaccinate. Don't wait, vaccinate. CDC Vaccination Week. Representative Brenda Lawrence. Mass Vaccination Week is coming up. We have walk-up vaccine clinics partnering with us throughout the 14th District. No appointment necessary. Some open Monday. You can check out locations, times, and dates here. So you got a congresswoman. Ain't said very much about white supremacists or white supremacy. Speaking of white supremacists and white supremacy. Spoke a moment too soon. Speaking of white supremacists, well, the Congressional Black Caucus does have something to say about a white supremacist. We're back to having a president that puts people first. You mean 3 strikes Joe Biden? Who are the people that he puts first? He's put Asians first. He hasn't put any Black people first. He puts people first. Yeah, all the people except Black people. Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Sitting right there, just mamming it up. Who gives a damn if it's Joe the Beast Biden? Our so-called elected representation spends its time supporting and kowtowing to the very people that we're fighting, that the rank and file is fighting against. We're voting for folks who are going to go and get the back of the very folks we're fighting against. Nikki Ivory is over there doing her duty. That's a good look. Raphael Warnock. Oh boy. Can't wait to see how this one goes.
State Senator from the great state of Georgia. We had some technical problems earlier, so I apologize for our late start, but here we are. Tell someone who was waiting to catch our live stream that we're up right now, and in just a few moments, I'm going to be responding to thoughtful questions sent from Georgians all across the state. But before I begin, I want to just start by saying what an absolute honor it is for me to serve as a United States Senator from the great state of Georgia. These last 100 days have been busy. They come at a consequential time in our nation's history when the work that we do is incredibly important. And I just want to say thank you to Georgia for giving me this honor. In a real sense, the whole nation owes a debt of gratitude to Georgia. When you think about what we've been able to do in just 100 days to address this pandemic and economic crisis it created, none of this would be possible if it were not for the way in which Georgia stood up in the election. So thank you, Georgia, for making it possible for Congress to pass historic expansive relief and to start to turn the corner on this once-in-a-century pandemic that has then created an economic turn down the likes of which most of us have never seen in our lifetime. Without Georgians, we would not.
So that's Raphael Warnock. That's what he's doing. That's what he's worried about. You have an opportunity to speak to him. So very, very clearly, the white establishment has told the Congressional Puppet Caucus that the Congressional Black Puppets that you ain't to talk about nothing except getting vaccinated. That's what you Negroes can discuss. You can talk about that. Don't you talk about anything else. Don't discuss anything else. That's all we're here to talk about. Have you gotten vaccinated? And that's it.
Beyond this pandemic. So know that I am as committed as ever to continuing my work to advocate in the Senate for all Georgians. It is indeed a continuation of my lifelong commitment to service. And so I'm proud to have already hit the ground running as a key member of the Senate. I serve on the Agriculture Committee, the Banking Committee, the Commerce Committee. I'm on the Special Committee on the Aging, the Joint Economic Committee. And as a member of those committees and the Senate, we've already started to deliver landmark relief to farmers of color. We are working hard right now to strengthen public transportation and the rest of our infrastructure. We are examining racial discrimination in housing prices and how that contributes to the racial wealth gap, as well as working to fill our executive branch with the leaders who are going to help me.
All right, did you catch that part right there? We're working to examine. We're working to examine. Back it up a little bit.
Member of the Senate. I serve on the Agriculture Committee, the Banking Committee, the Commerce Committee. I'm on the Special Committee on the Aging, the Joint Economic Committee. And as a member of those committees and the Senate, we've already started to deliver landmark relief to farmers of color. We are working hard right now to strengthen public transportation and the rest of our infrastructure. We are examining racial discrimination in housing prices and how that contributes to the racial wealth gap.
Now, to all of you coon-minded, butt-kissing, boot-licking, garbage pail kid-looking niggas who are trying to argue with us during the election and claim we just need to give them more time, claiming that you are voting for the lesser of two evils, claiming that you are so smart. I'm waiting for you to tell us where your chess move was here. Because for the Asians, they didn't have to examine anything. They didn't have to examine anything. All the stuff I was telling you about here before, they don't have to do none of that. I told you they don't have to examine anything. They didn't have to examine nothing. They didn't have to have a committee. They didn't have to have a study. They didn't have to bring in Asian academics. For Asians, they just immediately got to work and said, here you go. Here's the law. Here you go. Here's resources. Here you go. All the stuff that I told you that they were supposed to do for us right off the bat, all you niggas were talking about, they can't do that. No, they got to have a study, and then they got to have a commission. Some of y'all are just slow and ADHD. You Waldo Baldo niggas need to sit down and be quiet for life.
No, you put it on there.
I told you that they don't have to go through any of those maneuvers, and they don't have to jump through any of those hoops. They don't have to use any of those stalling tactics. If they want to do something, they can get right to it right away. And you've seen them do more for Asians in 90 days than they have done for black folk in 90 months. All the stuff that I warned you about and told you about. Remember, there were Negroes calling me up, talking about, you see what it is now. We got to have a study, and then we have to have another study and a commission. You don't understand. We need commission. See, the Japanese couldn't get there. We got to have a commission. See, Jake, you understand how things work. Biden and them, they can't just wave their hand and make things happen. Why the Republicans will stop them. Remember that? Why they can't do nothing for black folks. You got to understand, Biden and they won't do something for black folks, but they can't do nothing because the Republicans will stop them. Remember? How many of y'all remember all the bootlicking, brain dead, ADHD, back of the school, short bus Negroes we're talking about? What they can't do for black folk because the Republicans would stop them. They can't get nothing done. The Republicans ain't gonna let them do that. We got to get Trump out of office, Jason. We got to get Trump out of office. And even after we get him out of office, you know, it's going to take time. It's going to take time, Jason. You can't get wrong with milk today, Jason. You can't build a Krispy Kreme in an hour, Jason. The Republicans going to stop it.
He started taking calls.
Okay, the Republicans, obviously the Republicans were not an obstacle for Asians, not an obstacle for Latinos, not an obstacle for Middle Easterners. So now you're going to sit up here and tell me that the Democrats, they could get past the Republicans for everybody except us? All these Ritalin babies and civil rights coons out here, every time you talk, they start talking stupid like that. That's the problem, Jay. You don't understand politics now. Politics doesn't need to be. Politics, Jason. You ain't doing right on that. Politics, Jason. They can't do that but just us, Jason. The Republicans gonna stop it. The Republicans gonna stop it, Jason. You don't understand. The Republicans gonna stop it, Jason. You act like it's all simple and simplistic. You don't understand. See, it's a complicated matter. Is what it is. If they try to do something for us, the Republicans gonna stop. It's gonna take time. See, the Democrats need to have control of the White House and the House of Representatives and the Senate, and even after that, they gotta have a super majority. Otherwise, Republicans gonna stop them, Jason. Republicans gonna stop them now.
Eddie Murphy.
They ain't stop the damn thing for anybody. You brain dead Negroes who just go along with everything the hell you're told. Because the truth of the matter is, you don't want to see black people progressing either. Any black person supporting Democrats at this point, you don't want to see black people progressing either. The status quo is fine by you because you are vicariously kissing Joe Biden's ass too. I wish Joe Biden would come down here and pat me on the head. I never had a daddy in my life like that, so I sure would like Joe to come down here and pat me on the head. That'd be good with me. That'd be good with me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm just saying, but if I knew Joe Biden, I would never for him to come on down here and pat me on the head. I would feel special.
Oh,
I ain't never spelled no star on the forehead. understand that there's a whole bunch of Negroes who wish they had the opportunity. They wish they had the opportunity to sell out the rest of us. Can we just say it like it is? There's a whole bunch of black folk who wish they had the option and wish they could have extended to them the opportunity of selling the rest of us out. This isn't hidden. This isn't camouflaged. This isn't covered up. They are just outright saying we are here to support and take care of all Americans except the niggas. Not them. Not them. And then you got so-called elected black politicians. And in the case of Warnock and others, they didn't say a damn thing for us. There is no, well, Jaden, you got to play the game. The only game is playing you. If they didn't say they're going to do anything for black folk, they're not going to do anything for black people. And you got a bunch of black folk who are like, well, that's okay right there. I mean, they ain't got to do nothing for us as long as they ain't Trump. Okay, well, what's the difference between them and Trump? Trump called me names. Biden calls you names too. Yeah, but Trump really mean it. I mean, Trump is racist, and Biden, he racist too. But when Trump call me names, he means it. When Biden say it, I don't think he really means it like that. Remember, in our programs leading up to the election, you had old niggas calling up, talking about Biden and Trump. Well, they both racist, but Trump really means it. Biden don't really mean it. Biden is up here calling you a nigga to your face. Yeah, but he don't really mean it, Jason. You don't understand. Biden don't really mean it the way you say he mean it. I tried to warn you all. When you go to Albertsons and Trader Joe, got them old niggas waddling through the store on their hover rounds, on their shopping buggy carts, their electric buggy carts. The old niggas who work in the back, stacking up the fruits and the avocados and the rutabagas. Hello there, Miss Ann. You think it's a joke and you think it's funny until you realize, oh, them niggas vote too. That's the problem. You young folks out there in the street making trouble. You need to vote for Joe Biden. What you need to do right there. You need to get Trump out of office. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to be doing. So you end up with Raphael Warnock sitting up here telling you the most important thing you can be doing is letting him say that we're going to study racial discrimination. We're going to study it.
Relief to farmers of color. We are working hard right now to strengthen public transportation and the rest of our infrastructure. We are examining racial discrimination in housing prices and how that contributes to the racial wealth gap, as well as working to fill our executive branch with the leaders who are going to help me and our congressional delegation make sure that the federal government is doing its part to help Georgia recover and thrive.
Now notice the diabolical thing the scum-sucking bastard said there. We're going to study these things. Notice they didn't say the Asians, well, we're going to study if you've been assaulted. We're going to study if somebody was beating up your grandmama in Times Square. We're going to study it. Notice when it comes to black folk, well, we can't do nothing, but we have to start with a study. Okay, all of you Biden sexuals and Kamala Harris hoes, why is it you all didn't say, well, you know what, Senator Warnock and President Biden, you really need to study what's happening to the Asians first. We need a study, and we need that study to be approved by Congress and Republicans. Now, you can't go crashing through it. You got to study it. Why is it that none of you jackasses are out here demanding that they study things for Asians the way that they're offering to study it for us? You all didn't sit up here and say that. None of you Biden butt kissers and Kamala Harris hoes said a word about, well, we need to to study it now. Women now, Senator Warnock, now. We got to study it now. You can't just push nothing through now. The Republicans will stop you. The Republicans don't stop you if you try that right there. So you can't just be putting things through now. That ain't going to work now. It ain't going to work. You got to study it. And yes, farmers of color. And this scum-sucking bastard means exactly what he just said.
We are examining racial discrimination in housing prices and how that contributes to the racial wealth gap, as well as working to fill our executive brand as a member of those committees and the Senate. We've already started to deliver landmark relief to farmers of color. We are working hard right now to strengthen public transport.
They've been talking about farmers of color. They've been talking about doing something for black farmers now since I was in high school. They've been talking about that for decades. They didn't go to Asians and say, well, we're going to look into it. We working on legislation. We working on it, Dad. Don't you understand? They didn't say anything like that. For Asians, they got right to it. Now, will someone explain to me why in the hell that Asians didn't get told we need to study and we need to commission and we need to fish fry and we need to get together and we need to talk this over now. Y'all got to have patience. Asian people, you got to have patience now. That's not, y'all don't understand. That's not the way government works now. You can't just jump up here and say, okay, well, y'all got to do what we tell you now. Asians got to understand. Things move slowly now, but just things gonna move slowly, but just trust in the Lord. It's coming. Trust in the Lord. It's coming. Just trust in the Lord. It's coming. Nobody's telling Asians any of the things they said to us, all those stalling tactics and obstacles that they were telling us that we had to wait for. Nobody is saying that to the Asians. No one's saying that to Latinos. They're only saying it to us. That's it.
Transportation and the rest of our infrastructure. We are examining racial discrimination in housing prices and how that contributes to the racial wealth gap, as well as working to fill our executive branch with the leaders who are going to help me and our congressional delegation make sure that the federal government is doing its part to help Georgia recover and thrive. I wake up every single day of my life with Georgia on my mind. I'm deeply honored to do this work. So as I work to make sure that
that's that damn Obama mess. I wake up every day with Georgia on my mind. That's Obama doing the Al Green. Everything, when they talk to black folk, they segue to entertainers. We here on business, but when they talk to black folk, they sit up here and throw out some line from some entertainer, and that's supposed to constitute actually giving us something substantive.
the public policies in D.C. are working.
Now, let's be very, very clear about why they do that now. Before I say anything else, let's be very, very clear about exactly why it is that they do that. There is a reason why they do that. And we are going to be honest with ourselves about why it is they do that. They do that because that old bull crap works on the civil rights generation. Can we just be real and just be honest about it? That mess works on them. That works on the civil rights generation. The civil rights generation, they go for all the old, sing along, talk about celebrities and mess, and you be sassy. The civil rights generation, them niggas live for symbolism. They were too cowardly to actually demand concrete tangibles. The civil rights generation, they love them some symbolism. They love symbolic gestures. They love white folk acknowledging them. To them, white folks simply acknowledging their existence is a win. That in and of itself is a victory. In and of itself. If you can get white folk to simply acknowledge your presence, to them, that's a victory. So when us younger black folks start talking about, I ain't getting them to acknowledge me don't mean a damn thing. I'm here for power, wealth, and influence. They look at us like we crazy. Y'all young folks, y'all gonna make trouble. You remind me of Malcolm X. He was a young troublemaker too. Okay, then that means you were a young coward. But let's just be very, very clear. The reason that Biden and Warnock and Obama do that is because old niggas like Roland Martin shaped like a bagel. The reason niggas like that, they love that kind of mess. Hillary Clinton, when Roland Martin got to talk to her, he didn't want to discuss business. The only thing he wanted to talk about was, hey, Hillary, would you like to see me dance? Want to see me dance move? Now, you know full damn well if she steps into the circle with me, I'm not here to dance. I'm not here to do the two-step. I'm here for you to cut the check. That's it. But we're not going to sit up here and trade entertainment. But that civil rights generation, that's what they do. So if you want to know why the politicians keep doing this endlessly and they can't figure out why it ain't working for us, so understand they just pull out the same old thing. Well, we'll get some younger celebrities. For the older folk, we'll invoke Al Green and Ray Charles. For the younger folk, it'll be Cardi B and Paul Wall. So they're just recycling the same playbook over and over again because the civil rights generation taught them that works. If you want to know why that's happening, the civil rights generation taught them that works. As insulting and reprehensible as it is, the civil rights generation showed them, you do that, it will work.
For the people of Georgia, I just wanted to take a little bit of time today to hear and respond to your burning questions. You know, I've learned as a pastor that you can't lead if you don't listen.
All right. So he's basically going down the list of old cliches these Negroes like to do. You know, as a pastor, dude, that's a slur. You don't get any respect among us. See, just understand, this is for old niggas. These are statements calibrated for old niggas. This will do great, wonderful things for old niggas. Talking about the church, talking about Ray Charles, all that old bullcrap. That's supposed to thrill the old people. That's what do good in the way. You know, I mean, as a pastor in the church, young folk would say, okay, what has your church done for us? Well, I mean, we have a little food program, the backpack program here. We got free lunches here. We help rub grandma's feet once a year. Man, the young folk ain't rocking with this. But just understand, he's going down the laundry list of golden oldies that they keep trotting out, folks. Celebrities, the church. As a pastor, I'm here to listen. You pastors be listening to them deaconesses too, don't you? Don't worry, eventually that little bone is going to fall out from the skeletons in his closet. Wait for that bone to fall out.
And so as I reflect on my 100th day today, serving as your United States Senator, I am excited to hear directly from you about how Congress can help keep Georgia moving forward. We do this because we understand that change doesn't happen from the top down. It happens from the bottom up. And so I wanted to take a few moments, a few minutes on this, my 100th day, to hear directly from the people of Georgia. My staff has pulled together some questions that they collected from Georgians of all walks of life. And I'll just take some of these questions. And again, thank you so much for the honor to serve. So this first question.
Georgians from all walks of life. What that means is
white people. Yep.
That's what that means. When he says I'm taking emails and questions from, quote, Georgians of all walks of life, that means white folks. Anything but black people.
Is from Casey O in Alpharetta. And Casey asked, what are you most proud of in your first 100 days? And what are you looking to prioritize in the next 100 days? Well, let me say, Casey, thank you so very much for the question. I'm most proud of the amazing opportunity to serve the great state of Georgia. And I come to this work at a critical time in the history of our country. We have experienced over the last year a once-in-a-century pandemic that has created an economic turn down, the likes of which we have not seen. Certainly not in my lifetime, and most of you who are watching. We were able to pass landmark relief. The American Rescue Plan has provided shots in people's arms, checks in their pockets, and it has begun the work that is necessary to reopen our economy, our schools for business. And so
Texas is already open. Florida's already open. A bunch of states, other states are already open. He had nothing to do with that. Nothing. But by the way, he's telling y'all a bunch of things that he really wasn't even instrumental in starting. He's going to take credit for that too. That's what he's saying he's done. Did you hear anything in there for black folk, by the way? Anything in there that helps us? Couldn't help but notice that.
Proud of that work. I'm proud of the ways in which we were able to get important legislation inside of the American Rescue Plan. We expanded the earned income tax credit. We expanded the child tax credit. And the experts tell us that as a result of that, we will cut child poverty in half. And now I'm working with several of my colleagues to make this child tax credit permanent. And so,
okay, so instead of his idea is that, well, we will give single moms a bailout, and by making that, ain't that just as good as actually having a job that pays something? Yeah, that's the economic empowerment they're going to do. We want to see about. By the way, check the little tricky language he threw in there.
It has begun the work that is necessary to reopen our economy, our schools for business. And so I'm proud of that work. I'm proud of the ways in which we were able to get important legislation inside of the American Rescue Plan. We expanded the earned income tax credit. We expanded the child tax credit. And the experts tell us that as a result of that, we will cut child poverty in half. And now I'm working with several of my colleagues to make this child tax credit permanent.
Okay. So even for all you single mothers out there and whatnot, let me move it.
Right, you
Go
ain't
back.
George.
You gonna give me 8 million in my hair weed. Okay.
Child
You
tax
said
credit,
that
that's
there's trick bag
bullshit.
language. Well, I'm
That's a
working with
spin.
my colleagues. We working on making this permanent.
Political spin.
See, for where anytime that you think you're gonna get something there, the stuff they want to do, they go ahead and get it done. But for everything else, we working on it, we studying it, we looking at it, we examining it. For everybody else, we getting it done. So there you go. No, don't worry. An extra $3,000 is supposed to get children out of poverty. So most of the children in America who are in poverty, they're just $3,000 away from being out of poverty. Does that bullcrap this nigga's talking about even make sense? That doesn't even make mathematical sense. These kids are only $3,000 away from being out of poverty.
Sounds stupid as hell.
That's how insane this talk is.
So I'm proud of this work, and I'm, of course, proud of the work that we're doing to support and protect voting rights all across our state. It's hard to pick just one, but I'm grateful for the honor to serve. Tamara from Henry County asked a similar question. She says, from your perspective in these first 100 days, what is the most important piece of legislation you've personally worked on? How has Judge...
So this is the same damn question twice, basically. Same question twice, which means these are fake questions and whatnot.
Mhm.
What is the most important piece of legislation you've personally worked on? How has juggling 3 different roles, she asked, father, pastor, and senator, been these first 100 days? Well, Tamara from Henry County, thank you so very much for the question and for your concern about by balancing all of these roles, father, pastor, senator. Thank you for your prayers. Well, I think that in a real sense, doing all of these roles actually make me a better senator. I think too often we've had folks in Washington who are disconnected from the struggles, the concerns of ordinary people. And, you know, as a father who is very engaged with co-parenting my children, I understand the challenges of childcare. I understand balancing that while working. I understand the concerns of ordinary people. And so that's why I'm proud, for example, that I've worked with other senators to expand.
Did y'all notice he didn't say nothing about his wife? Oh, nigga, I got to say it. He didn't say anything about his wife. Did you notice that? Somebody asked him about, well, you know, I mean, how do you feel about being a father and this, that, and the other? He ain't said nothing about a wife, people. You know why? Because he's divorced. That's why. He didn't say nothing about a wife. So you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like to me that he's up here spitting. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he wanted to let the single moms out there or whatever know that he was available. How do you feel about that right there? Well, you know, baby, I mean, it was easier. I understand what it's like you to be working and whatnot. You got to take care of little Ray Ray. You should call my office. Matter of fact, I think all the single mamas who are a size 8 or smaller should call my office so we can discuss your future. No, I'm not joking. I'm serious.
What is the most important piece of legislation you personally worked on? How has juggling 3 different roles, she asked, father, pastor, and senator, been these first 100 days? Well, Tamara from Henry County, thank you so very much.
Henry County? How many black folk in Henry County? Sounds like he's spitting at the single moms. That sounds like he's straight spitting at the single moms. Well, you know, I mean, I'm a father, I'm a pastor, you know I'm single, right? That's right, y'all. He's getting his Andrew Gillum on. He's out here publicly letting it be known. Oh, I divorced that old heifer back in December. I let her go back in December, so we good now. We good. Everything. The lane is wide open. Plus, I'm a senator too. The lane is wide open. Lane is wide open. We can do that. Lane is wide open. This is what he's worried about. He's worried about that. We got real issues, and he's out here trying to line up some congressional draws. Y'all know what the hell y'all are hearing? He sounds like one of these damn single mothers and whatnot. This will be pandering to them. Well, you know, I mean, I am a United States citizen. You know, my benefits are straight and everything. Don't you want to be the next Miss Walnut? All right. You all want to start counting down till his scandal breaks? Anybody want to start to count down until his scandal breaks? Yeah. As soon as he got his old lady out the door, he's already auditioning for a new one. I'm a pastor and a father and a son. So you know I got everything to get right here. I got you. Take care of the blue kid. All right. Forget about it. Forget about it. Can't take it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and open up the telephone lines. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the Black Channel. Folks, they are taking care of everyone. They're protecting everyone except us. They are prosecuting hate crime laws only against us. Your Congressional Black Caucus is looking out for everyone except us. If you think that it is innocuous, if you think that it is benign, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. Now, I just want you to see exactly the situation that you're in right now while your elders and olders ain't said a damn thing. Your so-called elected representatives are going to work and bragging. Your so-called elected representatives are out here openly in front of the world bragging about what they ain't doing for us. They got better things to do. They got other things to do. So don't worry, old Warnock, they chose him for a reason. I just want you to know they chose him for a reason. Look at him there. This dude think he's sweet back. Dude think he's sweet back. So don't worry, we're going to catch him. And y'all know, them pastors in Atlanta, all right, y'all know. Y'all already know it's some dirt on him. So we going to wait for his mistress or boyfriend or whatever going to fall out. They going to catch him in a hotel. They wouldn't have chosen him. All bull crap and kidding to the side. People, they wouldn't have chosen him if they didn't already have the goods on him. They would not have chosen him if they didn't already have the goods on him. They already know what they need to do to move him out the way. That he already comes with his own baggage. They already know what they need to do. They knew what they needed to do to get Andrew Gillum out the way. They damn sure did it, didn't they? They knew exactly what they needed to do to get Andrew Gillum out the way. They told him here, all he needs is some white men, some baby oil, and some Jolly Ranchers, and some meth, and that nigga is gone. And what happened? He went to a motel room with some seasoned salt and some Taco Bell and 3 dudes straight out of the back of one of them LGBT magazines, and that was it. They already knew. Ain't you worried about his wife, man? He don't even talk to that woman. She is straight up for sure. Don't even worry about it. Okay, here Warnock is. If his wife was to people, wives really don't divorce no dude who's getting ready to become a senator. A woman doesn't divorce a guy who's getting ready to become a United States senator. Soon as she find out he getting ready to become a senator, hey baby, let's work this out. If his woman was divorcing him, and after finding out he was going to become a senator, she's still determined to leave? No. Hell no. They caught Andrew Gillum in that room with some grape jelly and some fruit roll-ups. That was it. They said, give this nigga some crystal meth and some fruit roll-ups. He's done. That's it. He is done. He's out of here. And Warnock should just mark my words. Remember, you heard it here first. We're going to go ahead and open up the telephone line so I can go ahead and take your calls. I'm not running for office or anything like that. I'm not a divorcee or father, but you are welcome to give us a call. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code.
Mhm.
Black Radio program in existence. We're going to go ahead and see if we can take a couple of your phone calls here. Let me go ahead and get caller from area code 646. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey Jason, this is George calling from.
Okay, dude, you got harmonicas playing back there. I don't know, got a honky tonk or whatever. Can you move away from all that?
All right.
Mhm.
Sound like that movie Crossroads. What is your name? Where you calling from?
George calling from the Bronx.
George in the Bronx. What's on your mind?
Yeah, that was from Las Vegas. But I was saying, the title of your show is "Protecting Everyone Except Us." I think that our protection is going to be the vaccine. That's what they think. In fact, I think they think that the vaccine is going to be our reparations. And we're talking about Warnock's sexual history just now. And that makes me think about what I heard Neely Fuller said on one of his shows, that the white supremacists know the sexual histories of almost every black politician who comes down the pipe. And we're starting to see all types of lesbian politicians, start from Chicago, all types of single black politicians in particular. I submit to you that they know about the sexual history that a lot of these single black female politicians that you see today, like the one in DC, like the one in San Francisco, are closeted lesbians. And to conclude my call, I think that we should go back into the tweets of your tweets and Jordan Sheep and Professor Cruz, and look at the election tweets and see all the Biden supporters what they said, and we should put them on the summer jam screen. That should be a campaign that we do on social media.
Well, you make a very good point there. Neely Fuller's wisdom, of course, rings very true. Let me just tell y'all right now, you ain't got no heterosexual clergy in Atlanta. You damn near don't have any heterosexual teachers in the public school system in Atlanta. But I'm just going to say it right now. If they are a member of the, quote, clergy in Atlanta, they ain't heterosexual. Don't let anybody fool you on that one. If they ain't the clergy in Atlanta, that's it. Might be two off-brand Negroes who ain't, but they're frozen on the outside. They don't have any access to anybody. They don't have any entree to anybody in power and whatnot. If they ain't LGBT, they're frozen out. They're frozen out. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. No, if they are a member of the so-called clergy in Atlanta, they ain't straight. Call from area code 929. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Caller from 929. Last try. You're on live. Caller from 929 has been abducted. Caller from area code 618. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, it's Rue Moore from Port Arthur.
Okay, Mr. Moore from Port Arthur. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm just happy to talk to someone sane, because it's just crazy being who I am, just being, conscious of everything when surrounded by people who will just go along to get along. And man, just the Biden administration, everybody in my family voted for him, like all the old folks, and I'm just like, I just look at him crazy. Even one of my uncles who's a truck driver, he came into your show from, I guess, being a truck driver, and he still voted for Biden. And I was like, he's talking about how comparing himself to me. And I was like, nah, we ain't the same, bro. You voted for Biden.
Well, you have to understand, especially older Negroes, they are used to the abuse. They are used to being abused. They're used to being used. You see abuse as offensive. These old niggas, they done got used to it. You all just have to understand that they've gotten used to the abuse. They've gotten used to disrespect. They've gotten used to white folks talking them crazy, and then they just play past that. And it would be different if they're actually getting something for it. They just gotten so used to being abused that they ignore it, even though they get nothing in reward for it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called area code 850. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Daryl from Tallahassee, Florida.
Daryl from Tallahassee, what's on your mind?
Yes, sir. How you doing? I was just calling because, first off, I just want to, tell you that I appreciate the work that you do, on your channel and the vision that you have for our people. But yeah, I was just looking on the screen and I was seeing where it was saying talking about the Congressional Black Caucus, but it's a Congressional Black Caucus with no black agenda. I mean, they had no black agenda, for us. I mean, Kamala Harris had said that she had nothing specifically for black people. And, we have to stop being a political pawn. For example, how Miami was formed as a city. Flagler came down, with his slaves, and he made them basically as a part of their work contract, go down and vote to make to incorporate the city of Miami. So we have to just stop being political pawns. We're always being used as pawns.
Well, you can't stop that if you don't have an agenda. You're absolutely correct. Without an agenda, the only thing you can do is be a pawn in somebody else's game. If they have an agenda and you don't have one, yeah, by definition, you are just going to be pushed around by somebody else. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Now, very briefly, I want to go back here. Now, Joel, for those of you who are just joining us, I've been going down the Congressional Black Caucus Facebook page now for the last couple of days, and literally it's nothing but a constant, nonstop flood of posts about how black folks need to get the vaccine. They're out there with Paul Wall, somebody named Mona Lisa, and a bunch of other washed up folks from all their drug binges from the 90s. Everything on their page now is vaccine, vaccinate, get your vaccine. It's just a flood of vaccine. Get out the vaccine. Not get out the vote, get out the vaccine, because they know black folks are addicted to politics. Get out the vaccine. Vaccine. This is sick. To see this obsession with vaccinating black folk, we got all these other issues. People, this is disturbing. It is disturbing to see this fixation with vaccines. Because if they push the vaccines on us, it can't be to our good, because the stuff we're actually asking for, they're ignoring it. Can't help you with anything else. Why don't you get this vaccine over here? Then you got Raphael Warnock up here trying to tell you how great things have been for him. Apparently, he must be pretty weak right now. He must be pretty weak because the Congressional Black Caucus on their page is trying to do a lot to boost him. So they must already see he's in trouble. He's only been in office for 90 days, and they can already see that he's in trouble. He doesn't have support. Just like Kamala Harris. They keep trotting her around because she's already in trouble. She's only been in office for 3 months. Already in trouble. And they're doing whatever they can to shore up their image, shore up support for them. So if they're talking about, all the folks they're going to be talking about, Reverend Warnock in his last 100 days, why are you worried about his 100 days? That doesn't mean anything unless he's already in trouble. And you've already checked with people and realized he doesn't have a lot of support. He's already in trouble. We better try to shore up some support for him because he's already in trouble. Going down the list here, by the way, as you can see, oh boy, now this never ends well. When you see his big mushroom face on here, that never ends well. Not for black people. Never goes well. As you can see, this is for an article from Politico. Black Democrats urge party to shift its voting rights push. And then you got a picture of old milk dud John Lewis, whose only strategy against white supremacy is, well, bend over and get your ass kicked. That's how you beat white supremacy. If you let them kick you in the ass long enough, they fully get tired, their leg will get sore from kicking your ass. And next thing you know, you win. That's the strategy. So it is. Now pass me a biscuit. So, Mr. Good Twella, they're trying to act like this guy's some icon among black folk, and he's not. But it says here, Congressional Black Caucus members are pressing a narrower strategy focused on a bill named for the late Representative John Lewis. If it's named after John Lewis, you know the bill ain't going to do nothing for you. He didn't do nothing for us alive. There's no way in the hell he's going to do something for us dead. Quote, I certainly think our focus ought to be on the Lewis bill and voting rights, said Representative Anthony Brown, Democrat, Maryland, a member of the CDC. Quote, you would think that would provide a real good opportunity for a handful of Democratic senators who want to hold on to the filibuster to say, yes, we can do it on this John Lewis Voting Rights Act. That's where we at right now. They are just that desperate to try to hold on to anything. This is how desperate they are. This is it. And the very fact that they can't even tell you what the hell they're trying to do, that's the first problem. Let me get caller from area code 201. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason.
Leopold.
You hear me?
What is your name? Where you calling from?
201 is North Jersey. I was just calling you to ask
What is your name?
Leopold.
I'm Leopold from last time.
Okay, Leopold, what are you going to do to me?
Oh, no, I'm not addressing you. I just wanted to ask
then if you're not going to do anything to me, I don't need to hear from you. I thought he was going to finally tell me what he was going to do to me. He just wants to talk at me. I don't want to talk now. I just want to know what you're going to do. You're not going to do anything? Oh, okay. I figured it was like that. Call of Miracle 843. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Jason? This is Steph calling from Charlotte, by way of Charleston, South Carolina.
Steph from Charlotte. What's on your mind?
I was wondering if we had anybody in the house that got, you warn us about these old niggas all the time. And I got a whole bunch of these old niggas in my life, like my pops. He wants to lecture me all the time about John Lewis and about the struggles that they went through and about all the sacrifices. And I said, what sacrifices? For symbolism? And I said, what? And he wants to talk to me all the time about the CBC. And I said, well, the CBC, what did they do? He said, well, they keep bringing up the name. Anytime you talk to anybody over the age of 60, they're going to bring up that damn 1965 Voters' Rights Act. I'm like, this is 2021. How is that relevant right now? It's symbolism.
They love being on a hamster wheel.
And then
they love being on a hamster wheel and saying the same things over and over again. That's the problem.
And then they cannot tell me one reason why they voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, even after they both have put black folks as a collective in harm's way. And they blame me. They blame me. They say I'm the enemy of the family. I'm the enemy of my family right now. You want to know why? Because I actually voted for Donald Trump. I said I was going to vote against Joe Biden. Because see, like Malcolm X said back in the day, we have to vote as a block. And like Claude Anderson says, hey, we cannot get nowhere unless we have the power to actually punish our enemies and reward our allies. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have never been our allies. So we needed to punish.
All right, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller Mary code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you going from?
Hey, how you doing, big brother Jason? This is brother Elijah right here calling from Las Vegas by way of Brooklyn, New York, big brother.
Elijah, what's on your mind?
I got a question, brother. You said something that was you said something to the last caller that rocked my brain, big brother. I need to ask you because you've been around a lot longer. When did Atlanta officially become a homosexual pandemic?
It didn't, and that's the insidious part of it. There was no point at which it was declared, because they still keep talking about Black Mecca to this day. So it's like with white supremacy. You live in a nation of white supremacy where it is illegal and forbidden for you to even use the word white. So
Yes, sir.
they control it from the shadows and make it invisible.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's what you have in Atlanta. So they keep saying Black Mecca, Black Mecca. Meanwhile, Black people ain't got no power. So that's the way that
Yes,
game is
sir.
played. That lets you know who's really running things and where it's really coming from in the first place. Thank you very much for giving us a call.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you're going to get call area code 310. You're on live with Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeez, from Compton.
Okay, what's your name again?
Jeez, Compton.
All right, Steve from Compton. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. Whatnot, man. I caught Thurman in the years. I believe he pastors the church that Martin Luther King used to pastor. And he, that what would you call it? A drove, Southern drove. Oh, man, it's so freaking disgusting. And if you close your eyes, man, he sounds like Obama. You really do. And another point I want to make, I got like everybody, I got a bucket list of places that I'd like to visit, before I check out. And Atlanta, Georgia, definitely not on that list. B1.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again here. Let's check back in and see on the Congressional Black Caucus page here. Who is this? Representative Terry Sewell. President Joe Biden said it best. Wait a minute, this black female is talking about Joe Biden and quoting him, saying he said it best? Well, what exactly did he say best, Miss Sewell?
That the best way that we as a country can grow is from the middle out. That we have got to make sure that we're taking care of the people who are trying to get into the middle class, and those middle class who can barely support. It's so hard to be able to provide food on the table and to be able to send their kids to higher education. And I think that the combination of these three amazing opportunities, yes, they are expensive, but they are investments in our greatest resource, which is our people. That the best way that we as a
Well, yet another empty balloon head out here talking. Call from area code 929. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is, good evening, Jason. My name is Gerald Ferguson, calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Gerald from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Jason, as usual, you're right on point with these things right here. And it's really amazing how, they're handpicking Raphael Warnock and the Black Caucus is how they're doing it, how they got doing it thing. And I just pray that we could get our own caucus in without having anybody else to elect them for us.
Well, here's the real issue. We don't need a caucus. Show me who the alt-right caucus is. Show me who they are. As black folk, we need to understand that we need to have an agenda. We need to have an agenda.
That's right.
If we have an agenda, you don't need caucuses. Furthermore, how much progress have we made, quote, with a caucus? No, what we need is an agenda. We need us to be on code and being unapologetic about this, and we are moving in that direction now, which is why they're fighting so hard to try to divert that. But more than in the caucus, we need an agenda. After that, the politicians fall in line, and you make the entire government your caucus. Don't believe me? Ask the Asians. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a call from area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, man? This is TC calling out of Baltimore.
TCI Baltimore, what's on your mind?
All right, man. Love your content. So, my question is that, like, what's preventing, knowing that the Democratic Party is a little goofy and the Republican Party, they, a little about the same. Like, what's preventing Black people from, or the woke community, what's preventing us from, like, having our own party or, like, our own political establishment? Where it could be.
I don't know anything.
Like us
I can't speak for the woke community. I don't know who woke is. But I will tell you one thing, as I told the previous caller. When you have a group of people who have an agenda, they are moving in the same direction. That group of people has a code that protects the agenda. That's the way it works. From there, you don't need a political party. Tell me who the political party is that represents Asians and take a look what they've gotten done. Tell me who the political party is that represents LGBT. See, Black folk are really obsessed with obsolete, antiquated, outdated notions of how you establish political power. And these are notions, but they're not actual strategies. Having an agenda is a strategy. Well, Jason, what does an agenda sound like? Cut the check. Take a look at how the politicians responded when we made it very, very clear. What's the Black agenda? In 2020, it was cut the check. And when that happened, folks got shook. Things got done. Folks took to the streets because we made it very clear, this is the only agenda. Reparations across the board is the only agenda. And once that was clear, that was the only agenda, folks started changing their tunes. They started trying to figure out, well, let's give them reparations and water it down. But the bottom line is they responded when they were very, very clear. Oh, this is the agenda. Damn, we didn't think y'all were going to be serious. And we were serious enough that they got shook about it. But when you have folk who get on code with an agenda, that's it. And once again, you don't have to start a political party. You're strong. You are something more powerful than a political party. You are a movement. You are a segment of the society. You're far stronger than just a political party. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called at area code 214. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Evening, God. This is Lillian from Alex, Louisiana.
Lillian,
I got a
Alex,
message for Congressional Black Caucus. If you think you're going to screw over our children and our children's children and not handle up on this business for tangible lineage reparations or even cut the check, I don't care how you do it. But this is not going down. I'm sick and tired of Congressional Black Caucus playing this game. I think all of them have been bought and sold. And I'm through.
You are very correct. They have all been bought and sold. See, the problem with the Congressional Black Caucus is the soil didn't choose them. The soil didn't choose Sheila Jackson Lee. The soil didn't choose Raphael Warnock. The soil didn't choose any of them. We didn't choose any of them. They were brought to us by white politicians. They were white handlers. Cherry picked them. We didn't choose Stacey Abrams. We didn't choose Andrew Gillum. They were presented to us, and then we're supposed to just accept them. That's the problem. Gonna see about taking one more phone call here. Let me get caller area code 703. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Tamika from Spartansburg, South Carolina. How are you doing?
Tamika from Spartansburg. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm just listening to the show, and I'm going to kind of be the devil's advocate, if you don't mind a bit. Because I hear a lot of complaints about what the politicians are not doing for Black people. But I'm just thinking, when are Black people going to do what they need to do to make it right for their people? You know, when are you just going to do it yourself? Because you see that the politicians are not doing anything to actually help Black people and help them progress forward. So to me, it just sounds like whining and begging, and it just doesn't sound masculine.
Okay, what is it exactly that you are? What is it exactly that you are suggesting that Black people should do on their own?
I mean, do better in your community. I mean,
okay, that's a cliche. That's a cliche. That's not telling. That's a cliche. That's not saying what to do. So you're having an ADHD moment here. Might want to get your Ritalin out. You're not doing very well. Let's give you a second.
Can I explain? Can I give you another
You're babbling. You're babbling. You were asked to specifically say what it was, and all you can say is, "Well, tell Black men to do something here." So you got to get off the crack long enough to figure out a coherent thought. You want to take another crack at the bat here?
Yeah, I just think that Black men just need to stop being over-sexualized. Stop worrying about having sex with a bunch of different women, and just focus on one woman and focus on the family.
Okay, so you think that the strategy for overcoming white supremacy is that Black men need to re-examine their dating habits?
No, they need to re-examine their sexual patterns.
Okay,
okay,
ma'am. So you think that they need to re-examine their dating habits? Of all the things you could have named, you think that's the one?
Wow.
Well,
okay, ma'am. A lot of people have mommy issues and daddy issues. And the problem is, those of you sitting around with your daddy issues, you're going to have to get therapy for that. My program is not for daddy issues. Ma'am, get off my phone. I'm not here for daddy issues, okay? I'm not here for that. Just understand, we're not here for folk with their unresolved daddy issues. You are dealing with the most white supremacists are the most sexually depraved individuals on the planet. And in this dire moment here, where we got real things need to be taken care of, the damaged daddy issues daughters of America want to call up. We are dealing with the most sexually depraved animals on the planet. And that's what she wants to focus on. I mean, what really needs to happen is my baby daddies need to focus on me. I wish my baby daddy would focus on me. Nobody needs to focus on you. It's not about you. Nobody gives a damn about you. You want Black society to get together? Get off your ass. Stop worrying about Black men's dating habits about you. If you want to know why Black men don't want to date you, it's because of the dribble that you just came in here vomiting all over the floor. We got real issues. That heifer is concerned about dating options. Well, Jason, can you tell Black men they need to date old big fat chicks like me? No, we're not. I really think if Black men would date old big ugly females like me, things would be wrong. Never gonna happen. Folks, the bottom line is we are dealing with a critical hour here where we are not protected. They are protecting everyone against us. That is public policy now. It is now public policy to protect everyone except us. It is public policy to defend everyone except us. It is public policy that hate crime laws that were supposed to be put in place to protect us, now in a cruel joke, the white supremacist prosecutors and attorney generals are saying, oh, we'll prosecute Black folk with hate crimes. We just won't protect them with them. We just won't protect them. That's what we need to do. By the way, Leopold is trying to call in again. Clearly, he needs some folks to check on him. So, Leopold needs somebody to check on him. So, if anybody out there knows how to get in touch with him, make sure everybody figures out how to get in touch with him. He's looking for somebody to get in touch with him. That's what he's hoping for. This is a very critical moment for us right now. We have to be very, very serious about what we're going to do. We can't play about it. We have to be very, very serious. Because when people are going around out here and are prosecuting you and letting everybody else off the hook, that's racial warfare. And that's why you have the black media. Because nobody else will do this. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. Thank you very much for doing so. I know you could have gone off and tricked off at the club. Thank you very much for contributing to tonight's program. My man, Mr. Franklin, thank you very much for your support. Black Mama, that's Faye. My man, Eric J., thank you very much for your support. And for everyone here who has supported tonight's program on Cash App or PayPal, if you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Over 121,000 subscribers and rising. We are not a little thing. We are marching towards 125,000 subscribers. When you got numbers like that behind you, there's a reason why the old black media is running for their lives and the politicians are shook. Click that red subscribe button. YouTube does have us under a shadow ban, so they attempt to hide our channel. They don't promote it. They don't suggest it to people. They don't even let our subscribers notify our subscribers when we are live. How do we deal with that? We deal with that by you sharing the program. And when you share it, make sure you subscribe to it. Why does subscribing matter? Because being able to aggregate those numbers and show people how large our audience really is with a subscriber count like that, that makes up for them attempting to squash what we do. So make sure you click that red subscribe button. And if you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, that is blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go there and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Ethnic Cleansing American Style, our newest documentary, Race War, all available on Amazon, on DVD, and for streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.